Harbhajan, and so welcome, and the screen is yours.
All right.
We'll mute everybody now. Nellie, you can.
All right. All right. Can everybody see my screen? All right. Good. Okay. Okay. So, hello, guys. My name is Harbhajan Singh, and I am a Sikh, and I'm 19 years old. I like to play sports. I'm a tech IT person, so I love computers, and I'm going towards system support or cloud architect in the IT field. So I am a Sikh, and I was um, well. Let's move on to the next slide. So, what is the Sikh? A lot of times I hear a lot of people say Sikh with the SEEK or SICK, but it's pronounced Sikh. The Sikh word means a disciple or a student. And then, like Truman said, this is not a religion, but it's a lifestyle. Um, I noticed that a lot of religions or some faiths refer you have monolithic. We are considered monolithic to the world because we have one God, which is Waheguru, which means if you split out the word, Wa means wow, and Hey, that guru, and that guru is teacher. I'll go into detail what Waheguru and Guru is in the next style. So I considered making this a personal experience regarding how our babies born. Of course, we know how babies are born, but how babies are treated to the adulthood life. So imagine this is my life story, um, which it is, but I haven't been married, so um, I wouldn't go too much detail. So when a baby is born, there's something called gurti. Um, Gurti is a ceremony which the usually it's the father, because the mother is still in the hospital. So this is like right after like 5 minutes, the baby is washed and the blood is off. The father would perform a mini baptism, which is Amrit Shikana. Amrit is the holy nectar, um, right here. So which is like the holy nectar is like water, sweet water, but it's done a different way, and I'll go into detail on that. And it's a blessing, so it's a mini baptism to give blessing to the baby, that when once it grows up, we want it to become sick, and we want it to become baptized. Now this is a blessing. Now if the kid um personally doesn't want to be a Sikh when it grows up, we do not force a lot of things on our child. I mean, me coming from a really spiritual family, I think I would impose that, but there's no forced conversion in the lifestyle if nobody wants to do it. And then after the blessing has done, and the mom, when the mom is, she's in good health, we usually takes about 4 weeks or 3 weeks, they're at the hospital, it is time for to name the child. And there is a ceremony also for that. So what happens is the family would prepare all the necessary stuff, like the holy pudding, prashad, and all that kind of stuff. Now you don't have to make that stuff at your house. You can give like the base products to make that, um and then the recipe, and you can look it up, but the granthi usually makes it, which is the priest. That would be my dad. So what happens is you would go to the temple, and um you would do like the prayers, singing, all that kind of sorts. And the the priest would read a certain text out of the holy scriptures, which is the Hukamnama, and I'll get to that later too. In the Hukamnama, it is the first letter, the first alphabet that we would choose to use the first letter of the what we're gonna name the child. So my name is Harbhajan Singh, and that brings me to the level of, you know, if I know a lot, um, the first um the first letter or the word that I think came for my Hukamnama was Har, which is H, haha, and which is looks like this, and then this actually means H, and that's why I think that it looks like a J. Um, so I think that's how I got Harbhajan, and they came up with that. Next slide. So after, you know, some time after I grew up, I think it was time for self-defense and some other types of classes. In the Sikh religion or lifestyle, I will refer to religion because that's what everybody knows about. Like, you know, they refer it to as a religion, and I don't want to confuse anybody. So in the religion, we have martial arts. It's a gatka. We're mainly weapons, with swords, spears, any kinds of metal we use, and guns, all sorts of stuff, which is mainly for self-defense. Now, a Sikh would never use their weapons to violate anything. There's no robbery. There's no um, anything bad. When it comes down to self-defense, we would sacrifice our life for anybody that needs help in anywhere or anytime. And we do not have any restrictions of who can learn these martial arts or any kind of um, rituals or ceremonies we have. Um, you guys, I'm pretty sure everybody here has seen this symbol. So I will go into that. So we have these. Let's start from the left side here. We have two swords. One is a midi, which means military, and if we have to go fight, you know, we have another sword which is spiritual, and this tells us that, you know, Sikh lifestyles consist of saint and soldier. We can separate this into midi, which is a soldier, and pidi. Um, this whole thing is called a khanda. um it has it's a double-edged sword in the middle, and it's for divine knowledge. um we have a chakra in the middle. It's a circular metal, which you can throw, and, you know, it can chop off people's head or stuff like that. All of this is made out of um weapons here, and it symbolizes, you know, it's a beginning or an end, with perfection of God who is eternal. You guys will see this everywhere if you are in a Sikh community. And this is, let's come back to the baptism. So now when I look at it, this is when I'm 6 to 7 years old and I have self-consciousness, and I think it was time for me to, you know, get my baptism and become closer to my guru. So I know I told you guys about Gurti. Um, so this was a mini baptism, which is just the first bani, and I'll get to that later too. So this is the Amrit Sanchar, where where there's a whole ceremony that it takes hours, and you are in the temple, and you can do it any time in the year, any day in the year, but a lot of people like to do it on in the April, around 13 or 14, because the Sikh lifestyle Sikh New Year begins in April, which is called Vasak, and we just recently had a celebration of that. In the Vasak, in 1699, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, our 10th Guru, who is right here, he he gave us identity of the Sikh, that is tying the turban, giving us the 5 Ks. The 5 Ks consist of um, Ks, which is the hair, Ganga, which is the kara. It's a high carbonated steel bracelet, which is really about 1 pound or half and a pound, depends on what do you want. Mine is pretty heavy. Um, we have the kashara. These are boxers where they come up to our knees. Imagine back in the day, people wear shorts when they're playing basketball or you know any kind of sports, any athletic, having them run. This is mainly the reason, and it also is keeping your stuff to yourself. We have the kirpan, which is a knife we carry all the time with ourselves for self-defense or defending others. And then we have the kanga, which is a small comb that goes in the back of our bun we do on top of our head, and it goes right there. It's to keep our hair clean, and we use a wooden one. Um, this is this is a good representation of the 5 Ks. So I've been referring to the guru, and the word guru means a teacher. Now in the Sikhism we have 11 gurus, and our current one is Guru Granth Sahib Ji, which is a holy scripture, and it's not a living person or human form. And so we had 10 human forms, as you can tell. Now these representations are just representations. They're not really what they look like. So I wouldn't really go about that's what they look like. So the founder, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, was it's 1469. He was born in 1469, and he went around the world in Iran, mostly Asia, North Asia, and India. We call them udasis, where he goes around spread the Sikh lifestyle. His main 3 principles he had was Nam Japana, Kirt Karna, and One Shakana. Nam Japana means to, always praise the Lord. Kirt Karna is, be respectful or give to charity and stuff like that. And One Shakana is means to share a lot of things you get. And Guru Angad Dev Ji, he's the one who gave the langar. The langar is when you go to the Sikh temple, they have food. It's not really up to only temples. We do uh langars all over the place. I mean, it doesn't really have to be in a temple. When we go to homeless shelters, giving away food is considered langar. What we call in America is volunteering and stuff like that. Guru Amar Das Ji gave away the Gurmukhi alphabet, which is now considered Punjabi. But Gurmukhi is really, really hard because each small word has different meaning if you read it in a different sentence. This is the Guru Granth Sahib Ji, which is written in Gurmukhi, and Guru Arjan Dev Ji compiled the Adi Granth, which is half because the rest of the gurus weren't there yet. So Guru Ram Das Ji, Guru Arjan Dev Ji's father, made the Sarovar, which is like the water around the Golden Temple. I don't know how many you guys have seen the Golden Temple, but you know how the Golden Temple is sitting in the middle and then there's so much water around it. That is called a sarovar. Sarovar is not just a pond with fish in it. It's not also Ganga in the like in the Hindu religion. Sarovar is it's like a washing place where you know you wash yourself and then before you go in, and it's also considered, you know, if you take a dip in it, you know, all your sins are washed away. Depends how you do it. There's not really a way to do it, but it's just it's how you think of it. And like I said, Guru Arjan Dev Ji made the Golden Temple. Now the gold was not there until Maharaja Ranjit Singh in late in after 1700s, and that's after when during when the British were in India. That it was that time. That's when the gold was set there. And Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji was the sixth Guru who gave Miri and Piri. He had two swords, one for military power and the other one for spiritual. Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji is the next Guru who told us about keeping trees alive, the nature, the green, keep it green. And he was mainly for he taught us, you know, oxygen and all that kind of stuff. Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji, he was about 6 years old when he got his Guru Gaddi, which means when he was appointed as the next Guru by Harai Sahib Ji. He, I said not changing destiny because he a lot of in Delhi there was smallpox disease, and because of that he cured all the followers and he got smallpox. Now he has the power to, you know, save himself. Same for Guru Arjan Dev Ji, how he sacrificed for the pundits, the Kashmiri pundits. There's a lot of history in each guru, and I don't think I have time to go into detail for each one. So I'm trying to keep it on a basic level, so we have just some understanding. And so I said not changing destiny because he's about to turn 80 years old, and he's gonna jyoti jyot. We don't say die because they pass on their light to the next guru. So that's why he didn't change his destiny. You know, stay in the parna. Parna is destiny in English. And the next guru is Guru Tegh Bahadur, which is actually his 1400th birthday was yesterday, and we all the Sikhs are celebrating his 1400th birthday around the world. And he also gave his head away for the pundits. I apologize, the Pandit never came to Guru Arjan Dev Ji. This was, I mixed them up. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji was the one who protected the Hindu culture. We don't really want to say Hindu culture because he was trying to protect humanity as a whole, because the Muslims were trying to convert every person in India to a Muslim. So we have Guru Nanak Dev Ji who founded the religion, and this comes to 1699. In Guru Gobind Singh Ji, the last person here with Guru Nanak Dev Ji, was the one who gave us the identity of the 5Ks, wearing a turban and, you know, wearing a kashera, a dress, which is a uniform called a bana. A chola also refers to as a chola, wearing turbans, keeping hair, kara, you know, kirpan. He gave us that identity because a lot of people didn't know that, you know, are you a Sikh? Are you not a Sikh? So there's people that come to the temple the Gurudwara, there's a lot of people who are not baptized, which is not a concern, but they still tie a turban and stuff like that, and um, but they're not baptized because they want to keep on to their, drinking a lot of stuff, because there's a Rata Maryata, which I'll get into that later. So we have the five main Sikh temples, the Gurudwaras, that each Sikh should consider going in their whole one life they have. They at least should, not really mandatory, but if you should, in to learn more about the Guru and be in the presence. So we have the main five Shirya called Takhat, which is right in front of the Golden Temple. Now, this represents Miri because this is where all the Sikh gather when there's an attack on the Sikh religion in anywhere, and we come here to discuss. We do not go in the Golden Temple because that is mainly for spiritual, and it's for peace, and it's speedy. So we don't do that. We have Takht Shri Damdama Sahib, Harmandir Sahib, which is Patna. Yeah, this is, the picture is wrong. The Harmandir is right in front of the Akal Takht Sahib. A lot of people refer to that. This is the birthplace of the Guru Gobind Singh Ji, the 10th Guru. We have Takht Shri Hajur Sahib, Kesgad Sahib. We have the birthplace of Khalsa. Remember, I said 1699, where they did the baptism. It was done here. There was a lot of people there. It was a whole ceremony they had with Guru Gobind Singh Ji. So this brings down to after I got baptized. This is what the everyday life of a Sikh is. So after taking Amrit, it is their duty to follow the Sikh Rat Maryada. The Sikh Rat Maryada is a separate book of laws that you know a Sikh should follow. It is the Sikh code of conduct. Now, like I said, there's people who have not been baptized, and they drink, they eat meat and stuff like that. Um, Sikh, the lifestyle is based off of vegetation and keeping yourself pure, not eating meat or any stuff like that. Now, here's a good example, really good example. I tell everybody, we are vegetarian, but if there is no vegetation on the world, we can reserve to killing, life forms, as eating meat, and we have to do it ourselves, which is called jatka. Jatka means instant kill. So if when the question is asked, do you guys eat meat? We don't. If that we have to, we will. If there's no vegetation, if it comes down to survival, we will. So the Sikh code of conduct, there's a whole set of laws, and there's a lot more, and some basics are Barneys. These Barneys are Japji Sahib. Remember, I told you guys about Gurti, which is this mini baptism. We only read this one, and then we give the Amrit to the baby. We pour it in their mouth and they drink it. But in the actual Amrit Sanchar, we read all of the Japji Sahib, Jap Sahib, Soye, Chopi Sahib, and Nanda Sahib. These fives are the main a Sikh should practice reading every day. This is you as you age, you will start to understand what they mean. But I would start off by reading and then going into actual learning what it means. If you read just Japji Sahib, I mean anybody can read this. We have English translation, we have English transliteration, which tells you how to pronounce each word in English. There are some R's that you guys can't roll. So don't worry about that. But if you guys want to read any of this, you guys should. Japji Sahib actually summarizes the whole Guru Granth Sahib Ji in the Sikh lifestyle. If you guys want to read about life, and in the evening, after you come back from work, it is time to connect to the Lord again, which is Rahras Sahib. And then before going to sleep, we remember him again by doing Sohela Sahib. This is our everyday life. And we have five enemies, which are calm, which is lust, krodh, which is anger, lobh, which is greed, moh, which is attachment, and hankar, which is ego. We try to stay away from these fives as much as possible. And like I said, there's a lot of code of conduct, which are more rules. We have one example is that the turban, um, I showed you guys this turban here. It is actually, we have to tie another additional turban at the bottom. And how much length that should be, which is 2.5 meters. And there's a lot more, which tells you the Sikh code of conduct, or the Sikh Rat Maryada, that tells you how to live the Sikh lifestyle. So if you have any questions, and if you're in the Sikh culture, your basis should be, your source should be the Sikh Rat Maryada. Should you do this, or is this allowed in the Sikh culture or Sikh lifestyle? So we have the values and practices in the daily life. We have seva, which is just basic word is volunteering all the time. Bandhashakana, which was one of the basic three principles Guru Nanak Dev Ji gave us, was sharing with others. Langar was the food, where we give away food to the charity and service to the community. Kirat Karani, honest labor. It's earning hard work, and then you do Bandhashakana, which is sharing after you do your honest labor. And we have the five barneys, and then we have everyday meditation. Now, so I told you guys about the a daily life in the in the in the Sikh day. That is, if which you should be going to the Sikh Gurdwara every day, but this is like a Sunday type deal. Now in India, this is a everyday practice, but in America, this is a Sunday practice, because a lot of people are busy during the week, and so everybody goes to church or their temple on a Sunday. So we have the Gurdwara, which is the house of God, opens at morning at 4 a.m. So if you're coming to come to the Sikh Gurdwara in High Point, we would open at 4 a.m. But then after we're done, we would lock it. This is for every day, but on Sundays we keep it open. And then we do the Prakash. Prakash is when you are bringing the Guru Granth Sahib Ji from a different room to the Sangat, or to the group of people that is abiding in that Divan hall. So once the Prakash is done, we go to the Guru in front of him, and we get on our knees and bend to or touch our forehead to the ground. Then we sit in the Sangat. So we have the if you see right here, this picture right here is a best definition of how to do a matha to the Guru. So you would sit right here, you would bow to the Guru, which is right here. And then comes Asadivar. In the Asadivar, we have the people right here singing Asadivar, which is also one of the Barneys, which is recited on the harmonium and the tabla. Um, the harmonium is like a piano, but it's pumped with air, so you don't use your it's not like a one-time piano thing. But if you hold the key, you keep pressing, you keep pumping the air and stuff like that. And then there's the drums, which is called the tabla. And the after finishing the Asadiwar, they keep singing holy scriptures. So it's like a let's say you can start the Asadiwar at 4, then from you know from 6 o'clock to 11:30, or whenever the time allotted for that singer or the kirtani, he would, until then he would sing or or meditate. We don't call it singing because it's not singing, it's kind of a meditation, because if you listen to it, it really brings down, calms your mind and everything. And then they stop after singing. Then we do our das. We all stand up and hear the Granthi, which is the priest, recite a prayer to Waheguru. This is the Guru. The Waheguru is the God. After Ardas, everyone will sit, and then the Granthi will recite today's Hukamnama. I told you guys about the naming ceremony. It's the same, but this is a everyday Hukamnama. There's nothing different in that it is a naming, and then this is everyday practice. Hukam means order, Nama means a statement. So it comes to Hukamnama, and it is the order given by the true Guru for the day. You can use it for your life or anyways, because if you're a good Sikh, you should be practicing everything the Guru tells you. And after everything is over, the priest or the Granthi has said the Hukamnama, then we would pass out the prasad, which is right here. It's made out of dough with sugar in it and some oil, and it's like a pudding. And after that we do langar, which is the food. And every gurdwara, the Sikh temple, does the langar, and everybody is welcome to do that. And then everybody goes home. So this is the Sunday Divan. But there's one more. There's Rehra Sahib in the evening, and a lot of people just go to in the daytime, but then really rarely some people come back for the evening Divan. Their thinking is, we already been there once, so why do we need to go back? So we do have afterlife. We do believe in reincarnation until your karma is resolved and has merged with the God. So, and that's basically what our afterlife looks like. When we die, we burn our we are cremated, and our ashes are put in the sea, and we go to the Gurdwara to offer prayers anytime we need to do. And that's the end of this slideshow. Any questions?
If we could go back now, to the gallery screen. First of all, thank you. That was extremely informative and very helpful. The language there is Punjabi.
Well, yes. So the Punjabi is the basic is Gurmukhi.